mother cannot join as a dependent under self-sponsorship route or a skilled worker visa route. I want to do a frequently asked question on self-sponsorship. There are around 6 questions, so let's do one at a time. So number 1 question is, can someone on innovator visa switch into self-sponsorship route? The answer is yes, they can. And the next question was like follow-up question is, the time I have spent as an innovator in the UK, can I rely that period towards a qualifying period for ILR, which is permanent residency? And the answer is again yes. So the time you have spent as an innovator in the UK on innovator visa, you can rely on that period and combine that with your self-sponsorship route, which is a skilled worker visa. You can combine that to qualify for permanent residency in total 5 years time. So that's good news. Number 2 question is, for self-sponsor, someone wants to bring over his mother as dependent. Is he 70 years old? Can we do that as a dependent or adult dependent relative? Is it possible for me to bring my mother if the client was to opt for the self-sponsor route? So the answer is no. Mother cannot join as a dependent under a self-sponsorship route or a skilled worker visa route. You can bring your spouse and children who are under 18-year-old. You can bring them as your dependent when you come through self-sponsorship route. Mother is not qualified dependent to come under the dependent category. But there are 2 other options. One is, if the mother has a right skill or experience or qualification to take a genuine job role in the same business, then she might get even a skilled worker visa, which is another addition of another skilled worker within the same business if there is a genuine vacancy. That's one option. And the other option is to explore the route of adult dependent relative. Now that's very complex, and I'll probably shoot another video on adult dependent relative. It's very complex immigration route, but seek professional legal advice if the adult dependent is qualifying for adult dependent relative visa. Number 3 question is, can someone under self-sponsorship route invest in properties and rent it and generate additional income? That's a really good question. So if you are on a skilled worker visa under self-sponsorship route, let's say, can you invest in other companies? And the answer is yes. You can do passive investment, as in where you think it's fit for you or right for you, you can do investment. It's perfectly fine. No problem investing and as a passive investor. What you cannot do is you cannot take an active role in any other business, because you are restricted to work for the sponsor or the company where you are getting your sponsored route visa, or even under self-sponsorship visa. Technically you are gaining a skilled worker visa to work for your own company. So you can work for your own company only in a specific role which you have been sponsored for. But passive investment is no problem. You can invest in various companies as an investor. You can buy shares, you can have various investment. It's perfectly fine as long as it's passive. But you cannot take active role in any other company unless you have a separate permission to do so. The next question is, once is approved self-sponsorship, how long can the applicant stay outside the UK? And the answer is, you can stay up to 180 days a year outside the UK. And if you do that, then you will also qualify for ILR in 5 years time. So in 180 days a year, and in an over 5 years period, if you maintain your presence in the UK, then you would qualify for ILR in 5 years time. Permanent residency settlement, you would qualify for it. It's 180 days outside the UK per year. 5th question is, if someone is on a tier 4 visa, is having an Indian diplomatic passport, would this be a problem? And the answer is no. First thing first, if you have a diplomatic passport, and if you have a diplomatic permission, diplomat visa to stay in the UK, then then my understanding from the immigration rule is you should not have a visa, because having a diplomatic permission is that means you are free from immigration control. But anyways, in this scenario, someone is having diplomatic Indian passport, but then they have a tier 4 visa. It's like switching your immigration category. So you can switch your immigration category in the UK to self-sponsorship route, i.e. skilled worker visa if you have a valid visa in the UK, except visit visa, and one more category. But like most of the immigration categories switch in the UK nowadays into skilled worker visa. The sixth question is, if someone is from China, a majority shareholder of their company in the UK, and they wish to of course get self-sponsorship. So it's interesting, there are a lot of investors, they have their own company in the UK, they are actually overseas national, overseas resident, they have business in the UK, they own the business, and we do get a lot of inquiries likewise. Can they switch into skilled worker or self-sponsorship route? The answer is absolutely yes, they can do it. They just of course pass through the relevant immigration rules and regulation. It should be a genuine role, and the person should have a right skill, qualification or experience requirement to meet the job role specification. And if yes, take a professional legal advice, get it sorted. Yes, the answer is yes. I hope this helps. I'm just sharing my experience, expertise and knowledge on this video for free. And if you like my content, I very much encourage you to subscribe to my channel right now, because I do produce video every week sharing these golden nuggets about UK immigration. So please subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, please press the thumbs up. And you might have some follow-up questions. Say, oh, you answered this question, but how about that question? Put that question now in the comment section below, and I'll shoot another video for you. Thank you so much for watching, and all the very best with your self-sponsorship. Yeah, by the way, there are a lot of other self-sponsorship video on this YouTube channel video which I have produced. Please watch them. Might help you or might encourage you to take this beautiful road which might lead you to settlement for yourself and your family. Thank you for watching again. Bye bye.